the statues which surround me, the glass-stained windows. For whatever reason, I just feel closer to my religion, and there's something very spiritual about praying in a chapel environment compared to at home.
Once the persecuted minority, Catholics now belong to the most popular religion in Northern Ireland. Almost 30 years after the end of the violent sectarian conflict known as the Troubles, what is life like for a young Catholic?
Hello, my name is Anthony. I'm 18 years old and I'm from Donaghmore, Dungannon, County Tyrone in Northern Ireland, and I would like to show you what it's like to grow up Catholic in Northern Ireland.
For centuries, Ireland was ruled as a British colony. A war of independence from 1919 to 1921 led to the partition of the island, with the majority Protestant North remaining part of the UK. In the following decades, Northern Catholics faced persecution and segregation, which can still be seen today.
Specifically here would probably be the Catholic area of Donaghmore, yes. My row specifically consists of Catholics, with one of my neighbours who is across the road from me being Protestant, but growing up I never really knew the differences and I never really questioned what those differences were. So growing up I think I felt very safe to be living in such an area. We do have new housing developments occurring which probably would be very diverse with both Protestants, Catholics, people from other backgrounds.
Even schools in Northern Ireland show signs of this past. Only 8% of students today go to an integrated school. Anthony is in his final year of high school, but as a child went to a Catholic primary school.
Most, if not all, of the students were either born into a Catholic family and raised Catholic, or were converted into Catholicism. Now there's such thing as integrated schools, which would mean that they're trying to introduce students who are both from Protestant and Catholic backgrounds to sort of mix with each other so there isn't that much segregation.
But what exactly is Catholicism all about? What makes it unique? Anthony takes us to St. Patrick's Church in Dungannon to share his personal perspective on the faith.
For me, Jesus Christ is the Son of God, whose sacrifice meant that sin would be abolished from the world and we'd have eternal life. We believe what Jesus Christ established through his actions, through his crucifixion and sacrifice to the world. If we fulfill these commandments and parables which he stated throughout the Bible, that we'll reach the kingdom of heaven in the afterlife. I believe that being in the Catholic Church is a very spiritual aspect of life. For example, I attend Mass with my family every week and it would help us become closer. I pray with my family.
Symbols and rituals are important in Catholicism, like lighting a candle to symbolize the eternal light of God. Anthony does this each time he goes to church. At Mass, he often reads passages from the Bible before the congregation.
I wanted to sort of feel closer to God, and it is said that we should at least spread the gospel throughout our lives, which was my key aim in becoming a minister of the Word. Another sort of more personal level, I would kind of like to have overcome social anxiety and the fear of talking to others, and I found that a good way to overcome it.
It's said that Ireland was Christianized in the 5th century by St. Patrick, the island's most recognizable figure. That legacy can still be found near Anthony's home. Dungannon was the seat of the O'Neill clan, the last Catholic Irish rulers to resist British colonization in the 1600s.
I somehow feel closer to my faith because I feel as if the O'Neill clan themselves, what they had done to maintain such a history in my own village, they fought against the British forces at the time. Between both religions, I can definitely see there being much progress. I still feel as if there is still some sources of conflict. Obviously, it's not as much as maybe what would have happened in the 1970s, so there has been progress, but there's still a long way to go, I feel.
Lastly, Anthony takes us to one of the places he finds most meaningful, a religious grotto where he comes to pray almost daily.
I just think there's something very peaceful about praying outside, where there's fresh air, you hear nature surrounding you. Well, I feel as if when I'm in a sort of time of need, sort of feeling weak at one point, and through praying it helped me build up my strength once again.
Even when it comes to social issues, Anthony turns to the Bible for guidance.
I believe that sex is a gift from God, and that through marriage it sort of shows our true love for one another. I would abstain from drinking or consuming alcohol, drugs, smoking a cigarette, because I can sort of see the toll it takes on people's lives. I have friends who are homosexual. It's not necessarily wrong to be friends with these people. It's not wrong to have those feelings, but it's kind of maybe seen as immoral to act upon them according to the Bible. As the Catholic Church has progressed, there has been developments in homosexual people being welcome to the congregation and feeling that they're supported within the Catholic Church.
Northern Ireland has changed since the Troubles. Catholics now outnumber Protestants, and polls suggest growing support for unification of the entire island among young people. For Anthony, his faith has helped him choose his career path.
I believe that as Catholics we have a duty to help one another, to support one another, and to try and make the world as good a place as it can be through God's will. Throughout my years, I've done my research into what career was the best option. I eventually chose biomedical science. I feel as if through certain career paths, maybe drug research or drug development, I can somewhat help people, which is something as Catholics that we're told to do. This was a look into my life growing up as a Catholic in Northern Ireland. If there's anything else you'd like to know about my country or about my religion, leave a comment below.